Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or even looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed just for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, but with my attorney advice throughout the way. If you have any questions whatsoever, people are standing by right now to answer them. The phone number is on the screen, 407-205-0400. If you want to start your house hunt for that dream home this weekend, Dallas Lehman is also here with You Have Mortgage. Same phone number, 407-205-0400. Great show for you this Saturday, but first, the opening statement. The opening statement is brought to you by my good buddy Stephen Bader with IQ Power Solar. As you know, last year I went solar at my house. I also went from a $500 electricity bill to a $50 electricity bill. Also, I was going to pay taxes last year, $10,000 to the IRS. But you know what? Because I went solar and because of the tax credit, I paid zero. Steve, how did you do it? I've been telling you for weeks, this is the hottest and craziest real estate market in our lifetime. And I keep thinking next week I'm going to come in here and say, whew, everything's calmed down a little bit. It hasn't. It's gotten even crazier. Realtors are telling me that it's 15, 20, 30 offers on a property as soon as it's listed. I've never seen anything like this market, and it's only getting crazier. But when do you know it's time to sell? Is now the right time to sell? And where are you going to live if you do sell your house? So really today is all about when to sell your home in this crazy real estate market. But then think about it. If you sell your house, you've got all these capital gains. And we hear about these new tax programs that are coming down from the White House now. Is it going to be harder to sell your house? Are you going to pay more in taxes if you wait to sell your house? We're going to answer that question. And we're going to do so by asking real questions. Every Saturday here on the TV show, we ask real questions to the trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Return visitors today, JJ Mackle is here. Hello, JJ. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
And Brian Fay, been here, about a year ago, I say. Welcome back.
Yep.
So Brian is a tax accountant. He works at the law firm, actually.
That's right.
What's going on? Capital gains. Everyone says, well, I'm going to sell my house. The market's crazy.
That's right.
You bought it for $200. You sell the house for $300. There's a $100,000 profit, I guess. I guess you take commissions and closing costs out or whatever. Do I pay taxes on that money?
The answer is it depends. You could potentially pay capital gains tax. It depends on how long you've owned the property for before you sell it, as opposed to whether you qualify for some exemptions that may apply to you. But all of that's changing potentially with the administration.
So, all right, capital gains. Is there a time frame where I own the house where if I sell it after owning it for a certain amount of years, I don't have to pay them?
Yeah, you should. If you own the home for at least 2 years, it doesn't have to be consecutively. Just out of 5 years, you have to own the home. There's several other different, exemptions that could apply to that.
This is not a political show. You can listen to my radio show in the mornings, and we might get a little bit more political, but not here on broadcast television. However, it's pretty clear there are more taxes coming down the pipeline from this current administration. Like it, don't like it, whatever. We're not judging that. It's just what is happening. We're going to have more taxes. We're going to have more taxation here very soon. How do you think it's going to change the capital gains tax? Or more generally, how is it going to change how I'm taxed on the profit of the sale of my home?
Well, there's a couple things that are potentially going to change. One is there's a proposed change as the increase in the capital gains tax, up to nearly 40%, potentially. And that's for long-term capital gains. Also, another thing to consider now, recently, before, if you were to sell your home, let's say a property was transferred to you, and then you go to sell your home, an inheritance or something of a home, and before, the cost basis or what you purchased the home for was equal to the fair market value when it was transferred to you.
So 1968.
Yeah, well, when the purchase was 1968, and then now the fair market value is $300,000. transferred to you. The cost to you is $300,000 because that's what the fair market value is. Now the new administration wants to change that where whatever that purchase price was back in 1950, then that's what you're going to have to pay the total capital gains tax on.
What was a McDonald's hamburger in 1968, by the way?
Yeah.
What do you think? 29 cents? How
Maybe,
much?
if that.
I think it was like 25 cents.
25 cents. Okay,
Something like
gotcha.
that.
Not that you would know, obviously. You're way
History
too
major,
young for
history
that.
Major, Roy Kroc.
Speaking of you, JJ Mackle, great to have you back as always. How's Sherry, first of all? Sherry Dyer, your partner.
Sherry's doing good. She's out getting us a new listing, so she's working.
At the top of the show, I said the market is the craziest I've ever seen in my lifetime. Feel free to disagree.
No, the market's insane. I think there's less than 3,000 homes currently right now listed, and I think right now we could sell it within 6 months, they were saying at the last Aura report. So yes, it's a very hot market, multiple offers. It's great for sellers, but when you're looking at all those multiple offers, appraisal is definitely a question because they're going for so much more than asking price.
Let's say that I call you and I say, JJ, I want you to list my house. What should I list the house for? As in, how much should I ask for my house? How do you make that determination right now?
Well, we look at the comps, and turnkey ready, it's going to go. I can just tell you that because buyers are looking for turnkey ready. They're looking for the right area of town in the sense of, does it have the right schools? Is it walkable? There's a lot of factors. If it has a pool, if there needs to be some small repairs done, we totally recommend doing that. But basically, looking at the comps and deciding how we compare to others, we determine the price and what would make the most sense.
It's just very weird because I've been saying on this show to you for years now, listen to your agent. Whatever your agent says, if your agent says it's $400,000, don't go say, hey, let's do $440 because I'm not in a big rush because your listing's going to get stale. People are going to say, oh, something's wrong with this house because it's been on the market. But JJ, right now, I mean, if I'm a seller and you come in and say it's worth $400, I might say, let's try $420.
I think that's a great point. For some sellers, we will try for the higher price, but the risk that you get when you price it so much further out of the comps is you have less buyers looking at it. The multiple offers tend to be priced correctly within some range of the comps, and that's why you have 15 to 20 offers and more offers to choose from, and then it goes up 20 to 30K because everyone's bidding on it. So sometimes when you list too high, it can still backfire.
All right, so the pandemic, whatever, we've been talking about it for over a year now here, essentially hit America, so to speak, or shut down America mid-March of last year. As we sit here now in early May, let's say my house when the pandemic hit, $300,000. What is my house worth right now here in May?
May is completely different than numbers we were seeing in December and January, and even when the pandemic started. I'd say, I can't really tell you percentage-wise, but it's significantly gone up.
I've seen people who their house was worth $300,000 last year at this time that is worth $400,000 now. I mean, I've seen it skyrocket.
Well, and some people are making some improvements, and the other thing is other people from other states are rapidly coming to Central Florida, and that's offsetting the numbers a bit. Plus, we've got the summer rush. Everyone wants to be secure before school starts again.
Unbelievable. Speaking of pandemic, Brian, I know at the firm we've been getting a lot of calls about, well, I haven't got my stimulus check from the government. What are the holdups for that? Is it do I have to have my tax returns done? Do I not? If I owe money, do I get the stimulus? How is this stimulus thing working?
It's been hit or miss depending on who you ask. Overall, it's been working. A lot of people have been receiving their stimulus. If you haven't received your stimulus, it might be because either a bank account or address has changed from a prior year tax return that they were looking at, or the IRS doesn't have current information for you. But by filing the 2020 tax return, you're able to reconcile. If you didn't get any stimulus payments for the first two, you're able to retrieve them in the tax return.
Let's say I owe $10,000 from 2016. So I've been on a payment plan with the government or whatever. Do I get my stimulus now or I don't get it?
Well, if you received your stimulus when they were doling them out, it didn't matter whether you had prior tax debt or not.
Okay.
If it reached you, great. it didn't get applied to your tax debt. Now, for whatever reason, if it didn't reach you, this tax credit on your tax return is just that. It's just a regular tax credit that would apply to any tax liability you might have had in the current year or prior years.
I mean, I think that even if you typically handle the taxes yourself, you file your taxes on your own, which, I think it's okay if you're a regular W-2 employee, maybe no kids or a house. It's fairly simple. However, certainly if you get a 1099 or if you're self-employed, I really think you always need to have someone, a CPA, a tax accountant, prepare your taxes. However, even if you're a W-2 employee, I think this year, because of these stimulus payments, because of everything that's going on, it might be a good year to actually have someone prepare your taxes for you. It's actually quite inexpensive to call Brian. And you can call him now, 407-205-0400, because it's a little complicated this year with these stimulus payments, and I haven't gotten it. I think you need to go through someone like you. Do you agree?
And not just that, just with the current administration's tax changes proposals, everything's in constant, flux, and, really need a professional to help you through that.
What about investment properties? And JJ, I want to ask you about investment properties right now in a moment as well, but do my tax ramifications differ when I sell an investment property versus a primary home?
Yes. So if you have a primary property, it's a lot of exclusions apply from that to avoid some tax gains, some capital gains that you would have to pay on that. But it does depend. It depends on several different things. That back to what you were saying before. That's why you need a professional to guide you through. Everybody's individual situation is different.
And it brings me to you, JJ, because when a market's hot like this, whether it's Bitcoin or gold or whatever, right? When a market is really hot, where it's in the national media, you're always going to have people come out of the woodwork saying, I want to be a real estate investor. This market is hot, it's hot, it's hot. And people come into my office asking for advice on getting into real estate investing. But, the main deal in making money in real estate investments is finding a decent deal on the house to buy, especially if you're going to try to flip it. What would you tell an investor right now who's trying to get into that business of real estate investment or house flipping?
Well, buy it correctly and do it correctly. You often see people that don't renovate it correctly run into problems. There's people that don't get it permitted. You have to disclose all of that because that could run into some other legal situations. And also, you need to know what's going on with the new taxes because a lot of times it's just deferred. So basically going into it with your eyes wide open and really researching it is paramount. And that's what we're here for, to help with that.
I agree. And if you're looking at investing in real estate or want to sell your house, call JJ right now, 407-205-0400. I have one thing I can almost guarantee you right now, if you are a real estate agent, if you're going to do any CE training or CLE training, right now, the first line item on that training is going to be this. What are escalator clauses? Because this is not something that we've heard about a lot in the past, something that over the last few months is really something we talk about every single day in this world. Escalator clause.
Everyone knows about them right now. Everyone knows.
I've heard of elevators. I've taken an escalator to the third floor. Escalator clause? What is that?
A lot of, I used them before this, but everyone has caught on by now. With the multiple offer situation, you just need an escalation clause to even be considered most of the time. And what that is basically is just saying we agree to escalate our offer $5,000, $10,000, whatever, over the highest price that you receive. And then if we accept it, we just need proof of the highest contract to confirm that, yes, that is the new purchase price.
So literally we have buyers that are throwing in offers out there saying whatever the highest price is, we'll one-up them.
It's essentially, but with that escalation clause, I also want to see what is your appraisal deficiency, or are you waiving the appraisal?
Yeah.
Because once you get up to a very high number, it still needs to appraise, or you still need to sort of figure that in.
Let me explain what JJ's talking about. So because this market is increasing virtually daily, the appraisers really can't keep up with what your house is actually worth. So when you're selling your house and someone comes in to buy it, most of the, 80% of the time, they're going to get some type of mortgage. To get qualified for the mortgage company has to do an appraisal to tell the bank that the house is worth what we're paying. However, it's going up so quickly, we're making an offer of $500,000. The appraisal comes in at $420,000, Now we have a problem, JJ. How do we deal with this issue?
People are paying the appraisal deficiencies.
Really?
Yes. And, good luck for some people because some of the homes are closing. So the appraisals are coming in at value because you have the higher closings. I just had one close recently, and we specifically had the appraisal a day after it closed. But in fact, my buyer still had to pay more. And so a lot of the buying agents on the buying side, I'm like, before, I would get you the best deal. Now I just want to get you the house.
Exactly.
So
let's do this. I want to show you a couple properties that are out there on the market right now. And JJ, the last few weeks, everyone that's come in to see us and show off properties has said, well, I must tell you, it was for sale yesterday. We got an offer yesterday. So I don't know if there are offers on these or not yet, but I want you to show me these properties. Now, downtown Orlando, very cool spot. And this is actually at The View,
this
I
one's
believe.
fabulous.
This is on East Robinson Street, right downtown Orlando. Tell me about this one.
this one is absolutely fabulous. We do not have any offers. Well, we did have an offer, but we've had a lot of activity. This one is right off of the shores of Lake Eola, so perfect location. It's in one of the luxury buildings of downtown. There's very few like this, and this one is set apart from others. They had planned to stay in it, so they renovated it with the highest end finishings. It's 3 bedrooms, 3 bath plus a den with closets, so they always have guests over. They have plenty of room for guests.
I would too.
Yeah, exactly. It's 2,000 square feet. It's priced just under $1 million at $997. It has just a lot of smart technology. It has solar charged shades. It also has just all porcelain tile flooring throughout. They skim coated the walls, so it has smooth finishings. They upgraded the cabinetry. It has high-end kitchen appliances, stainless steel, gas cooktop. So a lot of people look for gas. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The building has 24-hour security, concierge services. The gym is 5,000 square feet.
Wow.
You could actually host events at this place with the facilities. It goes out onto a big patio where the pool is, and they have combined tennis and basketball courts. From their bed, they watch the sunrise. In their living room, they watch fireworks or the space shuttle launches out in the patio. They watch the sunsets and all the activity. They can see the plays off of Lake Eola Amphitheater. So really, you're selling a lifestyle here. And this unit is on the 23rd floor, and it's an O-line corner unit, which is an optimal location on the building for seeing sunrises and sunsets. And you see both airports.
Oh,
it's
wow.
amazing.
Brian, we could have a party in that place.
No, they have parties. They have parties all the time.
Say,
and the View, once it's going to start again, but they have socials there all the time. It's a lovely community.
Unbelievable. And now another place you have here too as well. This is Mondrian Circle down in Winter Park. Tell me about this one.
Yes, both of the listings are contemporary finishes, which that's why I featured them. They're modern. This one has 3 beds, 3.5 baths. It's in Lake Killarney Townhomes in Winter Park.
So where is what main road is this off of?
It's off of Lee Road.
Okay,
and it's Lee in Orlando. So you can walk to Fleming's, you can walk to Whole Foods, you can bike to Hillstones.
You act like you know these places well, JJ.
I do know these places well, and I'm friends with both of the owners, so that's very nice. The Mondrian, my listing has a very, very nice rooftop terrace. So it's 3 levels. The rooftop terrace is the 3rd level. On the 1st level are 2 bedrooms with 2 ensuite bathrooms. And then the 2nd level has the kitchen, living room, and master suite. So it has plenty of room. It's 2320 square feet. It's priced at $655. It is absolutely stunning, and it has lakefront access. They do have some boat slips available for sale. I think they were at $50K each later. My good friends Amanda and Kim have the other listings, which are lakefront. Mine has a lake view. Theirs are lakefront, and those are in the 800s. So mine's the best deal in the community, in $655, and it all has high-end finishings, European-style cabinetry. They're absolutely gorgeous.
And even if you own that place and you decided to move, you could probably rent it for $3-4 grand. I mean, you can get a nice rental income out of that place too.
The
if you owned it.
owner got a job in Atlanta,
Yeah.
and she's currently leasing it out, and she gets a very nice lease, and the tenants are a dream.
Yeah.
You know, these are photos from the tenants' furniture.
Really?
Yes. I mean, so they're moving to Palm Beach, and so I'm selling it right now. So, I mean, it's a perfect area.
What an amazing time to sell as well. And if you'd like to check out these properties, or you want to talk about selling your house, or you want to ask JJ, what is my house really worth? You can't always trust these Zillows or ePraisal.com. I assure you that. Here's what you do. Call JJ right now, 407-205-0400. Those are awesome places, by the way. And you can be a young family, a young professional, or even maybe going to the retirement years. Those are perfect for everybody.
Both of they suit everyone, and they're both elegant and both completely upgraded, turnkey ready.
Excellent. JJ Mackle, excellent work today. Can you stick around for the Real Estate Roundtable?
I absolutely can.
Brian Fay, tax accountant, good job today. Can you stick around?
Absolutely.
And without further ado, it's time for your portion of the program. It's the Real Estate Roundtable. Every Saturday, I answer your questions from throughout the week. Here's what you do. During the week, go to our Facebook page. You have real estate. Ask me a question there. We might just answer it next week here on the TV show. Let's start with Shane in Windermere. How do taxes work when I sell an investment property? Brian, for you.
Well, it depends on numerous things. Again, it depends on how long you've owned the property, whether it was transferred to you recently or not. Whether you plan on, what do you plan on doing with the funds? Do you plan on purchasing another property? Is it a rental property? There's things you can do, 1031 exchanges to delay the cost of the tax liability. So there's lots of different things that you could do.
And I think the key is talk to a tax professional like Brian and pre-plan this. You don't want to be dealing with your taxes after the fact. You want to plan this stuff as you move forward, whether it's buying real estate or selling real estate, or deciding whether you want to rent your real estate or sell it. Talk to the tax guy or gal before. There's no reason to figure out after when the damage could already be done. Plan in advance. That's my advice. Jay in Marion County. By the way, I hear from Marion County all the time. Ocala, all of our good friends up there. Thank you for always joining us here. We love Marion County. I love the show. I watch on Facebook, Justin. Why in the world is this real estate market so hot in the middle of a pandemic? It's a valid question, JJ. What do you think?
Because we're all at home.
Yeah.
That's the biggest asset right now. So, and Central Florida, who wouldn't want this in our backyard?
All right. Jacqueline in Kissimmee. When are my taxes actually due this year? Brian, is there an extension this year, or is it April 15th again?
There's an
too late?
extension. There's an extension until May 17th to both file and pay until May 17th, but nothing's been extended until then.
Got it. Speaking of 1031 exchange, let's go to Christy in Winter Springs. She asked, what is a 1031 exchange? What do you think, both of you?
It's deferred. It's where you have one property and then you can go and answer it. And
Yeah, it's a like-kind exchange. So you're purchasing the same similar product, asset. You're selling a rental property. You're purchasing another rental property for the within a certain period of time, and then the tax liability can be deferred to the new property.
So let's say I have an investment property. I want to sell it now, but then I want to buy a building a commercial building for my business. Can you 1031 it that way?
It depends on how it's actually structured, but there are ways to do that, yes.
And then so I really don't pay taxes on any of those capital gains if I'm going to put it into something else.
That would be deferred until you sell the new asset that you're about to purchase.
I call it punting. I like to punt, right? Well, why pay now when I can punt it down the road a little bit?
it depends on what's best for your finances. That's
Punt.
why it's best to
Punt.
talk. Yeah, okay.
Let's punt. Like, well, I'm going to write a check now or I can punt it to a few years later. Well, it's an obvious solution. Punt. I love punting. Excellent job, guys. JJ Mackle, Realtor extraordinaire. Brian Fay, tax extraordinaire. Thank you guys both for being here today. Great
Thanks,
information.
Justin.
Look, if you have any questions for these guys, 407-205-0400. Also, let me tell you something. This is the hottest real estate market we've ever seen. If you are trying to get out there and buy a house right now, you absolutely must get pre-approved. That's why Dallas is here right now. Same phone number, 407-205-0400. Look, don't just go on these internet websites or whatever. You need to find a great agent like JJ to take you house hunting, because you got to know how to separate your offer from the others. Thank you for joining me. Have a great weekend. I'm attorney Justin Clark, and I'll see you next weekend for You Have Real Estate.